What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, Shameless, all up in your building with the lovely Budgetnista, Tiffany. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am the Budgetnista. I am hopefully your favorite financial educator, and I help women take their money from where they are to where they want it to be.
We met in Atlanta for Summit 21.
Yes.
Held by 2190. And
Blavity,
I was
right?
Blavity, and I was hosting the tech track, and you were hosting the finance track that I
Yep.
missed. So that's why we doing this right here in your home, your bathroom, your living room, wherever you're at, to get some tips and tricks
Yeah.
on how to save money.
Yes.
Specifically,
Yes.
10K.
Yes. 10K.
But before we get there, talk about some of like the misconceptions about money, finances, planning, all that.
That money is hard. That money is elusive. I think that people think that money is something that they'll never get a handle on.
Right. Okay, so part of why I also brought you in, there's multiple reasons.
Okay.
Because one, I think it's 2019, we got to get our ish together, all of us, myself included. And two, when I was cocktailing here in New York, I was able to save more money then than I am now.
Yes.
And I made a fraction of what I'm making now.
I know exactly why.
Okay, break it down.
Well, I find that people who make less are actually better with their money than people who make more, because we've got this, it's like this weird inflation when it comes to money. When you have just a little bit of it, you're very conscious of it. You're like nickel, penny, dime, quarter, you know? But when you're making a lot, for some reason, let's just say you're making 100,000, you feel like you're making 200,000. And when you're making 30,000, you feel like you're making 20,000. So you're super careful. For some reason, once we get past a certain level of earning, you start to spend more than what your money can really do.
Okay, so this is all helpful. And previous to this video, I uploaded a video on, I spent 10K on new tech gear, because I don't shop. I don't ever buy, I shouldn't say that. I don't like reinvest in the gear that I have. Like a lot of people do hauls, like tech hauls or like makeup, beauty. And I'm like, I don't buy tech because I'm like, I don't want the latest and greatest. I want to use what I have. Okay. But then I splurge, so I need that 10K back.
Well, one, that's a write-off, right?
It is.
And then two, if that 10K makes you 100K, then it's worth it. We have to remember in all things that you do that there should be a return on your investment, right? So let's just say like I bought this cute little, I was like, ooh, look, no elbows, right? From Target, right? So let's just say this was probably like, I don't know, $20, right? Now, if I wear it once, then I got $20 for one wear. But if I wear this 100 times, think about that. How much really this is worth. So I don't mind people buying expensive things if you're going to use them a lot, because then you break down something that was maybe $1,000 really cost you $10 a wear because you really use it. Now, if you only use it once or twice, you're not getting your return on investment.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other kind of, let me be more honest and truthful. Okay. So when I went from being a YouTuber who films at home with like one staff, I started to have a surplus of money. Okay. And this is the full story. I haven't even told them. Okay. So I had a surplus of money, and I didn't have a game plan. Okay. And I saved, and I wanted to buy a house, but instead we moved into an office. Okay. So I got an office, then I got equipment for the office, then I got more staff, and it just kind of started to build and build. And then I also got a business manager. Okay. And I think that's where ish started to go south, because I was like, I have money, I'm going to put you in charge of the money so I can focus on the creative. So I just focused on like, I want editors, I want like videographers, I want X, Y, and Z. And they never really kept an eye on what I was spending my money on, or like said, do you really need that?
Yeah. They weren't looking at your return on investment. So there's nothing wrong with getting a business manager. So for example, I've got a CFO, Rachel. Shout out to Rachel, right? And so Rachel is my day-to-day. She's got her master's in accounting. So she's my day-to-day finance person, right? When it comes to the business, the Budgetnista. But then I also have Carlos, who's my big accountant.
Carlos.
What up,
she
Carlos?
Be talking about Carlos.
I do. Carlos was like, don't say my last name. I'm not taking on no new clients. So Carlos is my big accountant. So I meet with him every quarter and I sit down. So there's nothing wrong with having people, because you ought to have people in your corner. So, but Rachel and I speak probably at least 2 to 4 times a week Okay. So I can understand. So I can't hire anyone without being like, Rachel, I want to bring someone on.
Yeah.
She'll let me know, well, girl, from what money?
Right.
Or she's like, okay, we can, but this is the amount of money that we can spend. Rachel will let me know when it comes to even ad spending, that you spent $10,000, but you only made 11. That ad is not doing well. Right. But but this one is doing well, so maybe let's shut this one off. So so although she is in charge of moderating like the money, right? I have to be in the loop. That's the thing. You can't just kind of set it and forget it.
And I did that, and it wasn't until like they got a line of credit, and then one of the accountants was like, Maya, I'm concerned that we don't have money to pay the staff next month. And I'm like, what do you mean we don't have money to pay the staff? And then I was like, we got to figure it out. Then my friends loaned me money, and when that happened, I was like, this is only gonna last like a month, literally, before I'm gonna have to get more work. And then I started to work just to pay,
and that's the work. Oh my God. You might as well get a job. That's called getting a job.
I was working to just feed the machine and not actually doing the things that were like fueling my soul. So I had a breakdown because I was just like, I can't, just the stress of thinking and feeding this machine. So I had to shut it down. Okay. And then I spent 2018. So that was 2017. Okay. 2018, literally tunnel zone. Good. Getting banked so I can pay. I paid my friends back. Shout out to my friends for even being able to loan me money.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then my credit cards are now back. Good. Because they were all maxed out, and my line of credit is paid. Good. So now I'm back at
You're back at level. So what that means now is
give me wisdom.
So what that means now is that, so I always say there's two types of business. You are truly a business, or you look like a business, right? So this is truly a business. There's a little girl, Shantae, who lives 2 doors down from me. Shantae is about 14 or 15. She's not a little girl, but to me. Yeah. Right, 14 or 15 years old. Shantae braids hair, but only on the weekend, because her mom's like, you have to go to school. So her friends come over, she braids their hair, they sit on the front stoop during the summer, braids their hair. Shantae makes money. Shantae has a business. Shantae has a product or service that people want. So product or service, people want it, and they pay. That and they pay part is critical. That means you have a business. Look-alike business is friends of mine who have the website.
Right, I was just about to say business cards.
Right, the business card. They got the pens. They got this.
IG account.
Right, what? They popping well, girl, what's your service? Oh, I do. Has anyone bought it? Well, no. Has anyone paid for the thing that you have? Well, girl, then you look like a business, right? And so be like Shantae. In order to be a business, you don't have to have all of that. Yeah. So in the beginning, when you're growing your business, you want to focus on what I call direct ROI, return on investment, meaning that you are a baker in the beginning. You don't need a bakery. You need eggs, you need sugar, you need flour, and whatever else goes in the cake. Because then you can bake the cake, sell the cake, get your money right back. Right. So you're investing in things that right away you get your money right back in the beginning. Right. And then when there's enough of a buffer, now you can invest in things that you'll get your return on investment a little bit later. Yeah. But in the beginning, so for me, I was a speaker, so I would invest in making copies at the time when I was speaking at the United Way. I would invest in, I had to have a laptop because I had to be able to work on it. Right. I didn't have a website. I didn't need those things because I couldn't sell it to get my money back right away. Yeah. So make sure growing I'm Nigerian, and there's an African proverb is that you cut your coat according to your size. Right? So don't put this big old voluminous coat on. You're not ready for all of that yet. Right. Grow according to that. And so if you do that and then you mind your personal finances, then you'll be now I can honestly say, which is crazy to say, that I'm a self-made millionaire. Doesn't that sound crazy to say?
Girl, just rub up against me. Newark, New Jersey. They said the 5 people closest.
Well, and it's so crazy because it doesn't feel because I'm still I was gonna take the train here today, and I was like, wait, I got Uber money. I can take that Uber, right? But
you gotta add those receipts.
But when I tell you, if you were to go to my apartment now, you'd be like, wait,
what million?
For real. But this year I bought my husband and I bought a home. It was a foreclosure, so we got it 50% off, but it was still $180,000 paid for cash. Yeah. Got a second home investment property, $10,000 paid for cash. Renovating the home, it's gonna be 6 figures to renovate it to what we want. Paying for that cash. My mom,
money.
Yes, my mom retired earlier than anticipated, and so my dad wasn't quite ready with the retirement plan based upon her schedule, and so they were like, "Oh, we thought we'd be done with the house." They owe 6 figures on the house. I was like, "Well, I got you." paid that off this year, and then I also paid off my student loans, $53,000.
Girl,
all of that this
amazing.
year. I am 100% debt free. No credit card debt, no mortgages, no car. My car I paid for cash last year. But I'm saying all this. I used to be a preschool teacher in Newark, New Jersey, making $39,000 a year, less than 10 years ago. And so, but I lived really simply. And now what happens when you live simply and you do right by your money, you're going to be able to make a jump. When you see my new house, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, it's beautiful, but I'm living in this little small apartment for now.
I love it.
Until I had the money to make the leap, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get into these tips.
Yes.
About this money and how to like save it, because it's not that, well, you know, I shouldn't speak for everyone, because I feel like we do come across money, but we also let it slip through our hands. Mm-hmm. So the tips on how to save $10K. Mm-hmm. You're gonna break it down.
I'm gonna break it down.
Okay. Tip number one.
Tip number one: BUDGET. Budget. Right. So no, honestly, a budget is critical. It is the foundation for the rest of your financial life. No one wants to hear about a budget, but
no, I don't want to hear about this.
Right? And it doesn't have to be super complicated. It's just a list of everything you spend money on. Yeah. How much it costs you a month versus how much you're spending a month. So grooming, hair, going out, bills, the kids, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So like that whole, I call that my money list. Mm-hmm. And then I write down what the monthly cost is of that. So I look at like my statement plan. So sometimes get averages, because if it's your rent, it's the same. But if it's your, I don't know, maybe it's your hair. So, and like I get my locks retightened, it's $100, and I do it every 3 months. And so that's about $33 a month. And so you want to write all that down, right? And then you want to add up your money list and subtract it from your monthly take-home pay. So you get an idea of what your money is doing. And if you're negative, which a lot of people are, then you have to start going line item by line item and saying like, oh, do I really need that cable? Yeah. Do I really need?
I was literally just thinking the same thing, because I have so many subscriptions.
Yes.
And I was like, girl, you got 100 here, 100 there. You got to go through
you
that.
Add up,
start canceling,
because it adds up. But it's not just enough. So that's number one, budget.
Okay, budget.
So number two is make savings a bill.
Yes.
So that lends to what you're saying, Maya, about your subscription. So let's just say you cancel a subscription. Let's just say, I don't know, it's a magazine subscription, and let's just say, for the sake of math, it's $100 a month, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you tell yourself, cancel it. Yay, I'm saving. Mm-mm.
No, put that into a savings account.
Because saving without putting it somewhere is just loose money waiting to get spent. Right? And so we all do that, you know?
Tweet.
Just because you're not spending it doesn't mean you're saving it. And so you want to make savings a bill. That's number two. So what you're going to do is, you're going to say, okay, I'm no longer paying this $100 a month for this subscription. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to now still pay that same bill of $100 a month, but pay it to the savings plan.
That's how I was able to save $10K when I was a cocktail waitress. See? I saved 10% of everything I brought in.
You made savings a bill.
And I made it like, put it in, it doesn't matter. Yep. It's a priority.
You made savings a bill. So that's number two.
Okay.
Right? So number three is automation. Automation is a new discipline.
What is this?
So automation just means that you are automatically sending money to a savings account every single pay period, you know? So if you, like when I was teaching preschool, I made the same amount of money every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So that meant I knew that what my savings was going to be. It was like, say it was $100. So I didn't have to transfer the 100. If I knew I got paid on the 1st and the 15th, so on the 2nd and the 16th, I used to have my bank account transfer $100 every pay period automatically. Yeah, because when you are whether you automate your bills, automate your savings, automate your investing, automation is a new discipline, because you don't have to remember. The machine remembers for you. Number 4 is where you're going to put it. Is an online only bank. That's number 4. So there's all these banks. You have regular banks like a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever. And so that's great for your checking account because you want convenience, right?
But the savings, you want it like...
You can't
touch that.
Yeah, so you're wanting 3 types of banking institutions. You're wanting a normal regular bank for ease of checking and all that kind of stuff. You're wanting a credit union for when it's time to borrow, because credit unions are typically nonprofits. So a nonprofit's only business is to look, right? A nonprofit's business is to make sure that they make enough money to stay open, not to make a profit. Okay. So that means the interest rate that you're gonna. So if you're borrowing $100,000, they're not gonna charge you maybe.
You see? Yeah, they're like inflated, like 25, 28%.
Because they're like, you know what? We only need 6% from you because we're just trying to keep our doors open. Because, you see? So that's what. So that's a credit union, right? And then the third type of banking institution is an online only bank, and that's where you save. You don't open a checking there, just save. Here's why. I use Ally Bank, for example.
I just saw the ads for that.
Yeah, so right, but honestly, there's a website called Magnify Money where you can see what other online only banks are out there and choose a bank that's best for you. You really want to look for a bank, no fees, and the highest interest rate.
Okay.
So you find your bank, and what I love about an online only bank, because they're online and they don't have all these brick and mortars, that means their expenses are lower.
Right.
That means they can pay out more interest. So a regular brick and mortar right now, I just looked, I think Bank of America, their interest rate right now that they're paying out to you is 0.01%.
Yes.
Literally a piece of a penny. A piece of a penny. How disrespectful. Keep your piece of a penny. Right? But like, for example, Ally Bank right now, you look, it's 2%. They're giving you 2 pennies for your dollar. So not that it's like, but it's way
but
better.
It's 2 pennies versus a piece of a piece
of a piece, right? So another thing I love about an online only bank is it makes your money inconvenient, right?
Right.
Because you have your regular
I need that
checking.
I need that so bad.
Transfer it to your savings, right?
Yeah.
Because it's online, where you gonna go? You can't go to the ATM.
Yeah,
right?
You can't touch that.
Right? So you want to pull your money back, you have to wait at minimum 24 hours, sometimes up to 3 days for that money to come back to your regular bank.
Yeah.
For you to spend it. Yeah. So inconvenient money gets saved.
Okay.
So you're just like
inconvenient money gets saved.
What?
Take away.
Right? So that's number 4, online only banking.
Okay.
And then number 5 really is number 5 is side hustling. Because here's the thing. Like if you make $20,000 a year, saving $10,000, it's probably not going to happen unless you're 15 and you live at home.
Right.
Right? So if you're wanting to save more, sometimes you just have to make more. Mm-hmm. But those other things are critical. Your budget, you're making savings a bill, automating, and putting your money in an online only savings account. But so once you do all of that, figuring out other ways that you can make income so you can add to that online only savings account automatically.
Right.
You know? So because what you can do is if your regular job pays you enough money, you can get your side hustle job and say, hey, this is the bank account I want you to deposit my money into, and it's your online only savings. You do those 5 things?
Girl.
When I tell you, you owe me dinner, lunch, a cruise. But I do have a bonus. Can I share a bonus?
Yes, please.
So I started this online challenge called the Live Richer Challenge. It's completely free. We're in year 5 now. The Live Richer Challenge, every year I do a different edition. So the first year was the fundamentals. We've got a credit edition, all these other editions. But for the sake of y'all today, I want to tell you about the savings edition. So it's not about getting the book. You don't have to get the book. I just want you to see. So the savings edition, totally free, not the book. I just put it inside a book because some people like the physical version. But the savings edition, if you go to LRC for Live Richer Challenge, save, LRC save, you sign up and it's 22 days, 3 weeks. So I used to be a teacher. I wrote the curriculum. And I know you don't know where to start. So for 22 days, I'm going to be in your inbox like, hey, this is what you finna do today. You're going to open up that bank account. Oh, you don't know where to open up? It's okay, do it here. Oh, you don't know how to save? You don't know how to save your, literally, like teaspoon, like breadcrumb. And so by the end, you will have an automated savings plan.
I'm here for all of this.
Yeah. 700,000 women have signed up. I started off thinking like, which it's crazy how many women have signed up, changed their lives. This year alone, about 3 women that were homeless hit me up and said, I'm a homeowner now. Yes.
That's so powerful.
It's like, I was weeping.
Powerful, girl.
So, but that's like, like I said, giving activates abundance. Not just abundance in my life, but an abundance in others. So yeah, so this is just my give. I do it every year. I come up with a new one, but all the old ones are just automated. Yeah. So at any moment in time. So even if you just go to livericherchallenge.com, you can see all of them listed. But the savings edition is a really good one if you're struggling saving and you want step-by-step help, and you get to join a community over 700,000 women who are doing the same.
So I'm going to list everything in the info box below. Make sure you go follow Tiffany across every social media platform. And what's some
Budgetnista?
Budgetnista. I love that. Because I'm like, I didn't even know your name for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's okay. I like it that way.
But yeah, I'll share all the info. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So helpful. Yeah. Follow, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and until next time, remember to do you, be you, stay true, boo, be shameless, budget, all that.